Masters week. I mean, it's the first of 4 mad weeks of the year. Mm-hmm. How's it going so far?
Yeah, it's a good week so far. I mean, it's a difficult week from the sense that as coaches, we can't go on the course with the players, which to me is, you know, a driving range in an off week, like when they come to see me, is mandatory. But, you know, the week of a major, it's, you know, you're not really tinkering or retooling or anything like that. You're just trying to, you know, finalize what the process of thoughts or feels are going to be or what they're working on. Really with my guys, whatever they're working on this week's just been a continuation of a plan that we laid down a long time ago.
It's a different week for you this week. Last year we spoke with you before the Masters.
Yeah.
This is a different week, man. I mean, you are scorching, and your boys are doing pretty darn well.
You know, I'm scorching because they're playing well. I'm not a good coach because they're not playing well. So the onus really in both situations is them playing. Typically, I tell them the same exact things the weeks they don't play well is the weeks that they play well. And to be able to help them in whatever measure that is, sometimes more, sometimes less, sometimes I don't help them. So I think if you just stay honest with yourself and don't get emotional about it and just look at it with reason and logic, you know, it keeps you kind of at a nice baseline. So I don't ever get too high and I don't ever get too low. I'm always going to veer on the side of humility than arrogance. I really figured it out like about a week ago. I was just sitting there and I took my son out for a walk and I realized, I'm like, wow, why don't I feel validation? Why don't I feel vindication? Why don't I feel that? But I have this nice feeling inside of me that isn't monetary or a win or whatever. It's not that to me. And I realized that I beat the only doubter that existed, and that was the doubter who lives inside of me. Not changing like, all right, we need to work on this because that's not working, but starting to read more about motor skill learning and neuropathological aspects and, okay, why is this working here and not working here? And then I read a chapter that totally explains it. And I'm like, well, that's cool, that's interesting. And explaining it to them too, because I think knowledge is what can just squash all fear.
Justin and Hunter and Tiger have all won. Mm-hmm. Hunter twice, you know, in the last few weeks. Mm-hmm. So is there a fear of peaking too soon? Is it riding the wave? How do you balance being ready? Because we know the majors are different, or at least they're perceived to be different.
Well, they're valued differently, which is the problem, right? So I've got a 10-footer to win the Masters. 10-footer is 120 inches. Like, you can look at it however you want to look at it. You know, it's a 10-footer. Now, if it's a 10-footer to win the Masters and you add that much value to it, then there's a pretty good opportunity that your sympathetic nervous system is going to be on the fritz. The thing I think about, you know, with Rosie and Hunter and Tiger, and now Tiger's a little different in the situation that he's lived his life in contention. So he knows very well how to handle it. The back nine on Sunday of a major, everyone else is on the fritz, and he looks almost calmer than he does on Thursday. Because he's lived there. He's like, oh, I've done this a million times. Poof, no problem, right? And that's what makes him a genius. That's what, to me, what makes him the greatest player of all time, you know, along with Nicklaus. I don't think you can look at generations and what have you. But to 36 years of age, no one's ever been better. And that can't be argued. Rosie and Hunter are world-class players, always have been since they were junior golfers. They've been extremely successful in their careers. So the weeks when they're in contention, it's different. There's more time not relaxing, you know? And I think that's why you see some of the great players of all time is people look at them as being closed off. They have to. There's no way to get their work done if they were like as jovial as me. We have a nervous system that's been built to utilize fear so that we exist. But it's the same thing that hurts our performance. So it's really it's a double-edged sword. But that to me is what makes golf beautiful. Like, I don't love the game of golf. You know, I like the beautiful struggle that it creates in, you know, people like golf makes people crazy. No, people make people crazy. Golf's just, you know, you'll hear the guy say, oh, the 7th hole at my course, it always gets me. The 7th hole has no idea who you are.
It's a boys' week for you this week. Just, I mean, Tell me how much fun that is and how much fun it is to have your dad and your brother here.
Well, they like golf way more than I do. My dad means so much to me, and he's such a wonderful man. If you met him, you'd probably go, wow, Foley isn't as unique as I thought he was. He's just kind of a chip off the old block. You know, I'm sitting there on the range yesterday, you know, warming up with Tiger Woods, and my dad's in the stands watching. To be able to provide him with that, you know, is really cool. I don't know how you repay that, except to, you know, do something with your life and show your parents that, you know, they were a powerful force on you and helping you grow up and trying to guide you in certain directions. And then for my brother, you know, he's my biggest, you know, he's probably my biggest fan, best friend, biggest enemy, you know, typical brother. So, and he's a sports producer. So he sees the poetry in sports and the beauty of it and the challenge and the struggle of all the sports. So for him to be at Augusta, he's an avid golfer now, like so much so that I could never, ever go golfing with him. It would just be too annoying how much he likes it. It drives me crazy. But just to be the three of us together, you know, you get older and life gets busy and you have families and then you think, wow, I haven't talked to my brother in 4 weeks, you know? So I'm trying to make more of a focus to realize that I don't want to ever be in a position going forward that if any instant was to happen that I would regret that I put my career ahead of that I've been so busy that I haven't called my only brother, you know? So to do something like this is really cool, to spend time together, but in this arena, having them watch me, you know, do what I enjoy doing. So that's special like that.
Have a good time Sunday night with Dad and your brother, and you know, hopefully they get to try on a green jacket.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like I said, you know, the humility stuff and all that's dead true, but I'm not against 5 out of 7 weeks either.